Welcome back. I'm Denise Brady. Y'all know what y'all came here to do? Watch me recap Married at First Sight from a therapist perspective. So let's get into it. Now, if you're new around here, you're gonna learn today, okay? And you might learn so much that you might as well subscribe. So make sure you subscribe, like, do the things. So let's get into it. So most recently, we are past the weddings, moving on to meeting the families. There are also some things that I've heard some other content creators talk about when it comes to Becca that I need to address, because sometimes people get on here and be talking out of their behinds, not realizing sometimes some of the things you say, words do mean things, okay? And so we're gonna get into that whole little thing because it was upsetting to see some people come after Becca, okay? Now, let's start from the beginning, okay? We are done with the weddings, we are meeting the families, and to me, it's like the first season or the last season I can remember where people did not off the bat just go for intimacy, physical intimacy. And I wonder what is the foundation of that? What has changed? These people also seem to be being their authentic selves this season. Cat is out the bag. Some of them seem like they're more organically getting together. But let's get into the things, okay? Now, I'm concerned about our first couple, the therapist and Mr. Outback New Zealand. Those two, to me, do not seem like they have chemistry. Once again, on paper, they might seem like they have it together. They might seem like they mesh. But when it comes to them being a couple, they're not going to last, guys. You can always tell from the beginning how things start. They haven't really held hands. They haven't really kissed. Where's the chemistry? Okay. Paging Dr. Pepper. Okay. Where's Pastor Cal when you really need them? Because this couple is already starting off on the wrong foot. But we know they are filming multiple shows at one time, so they ain't got time until things are already in the weeds and these couples are already at the point where they're gonna break up, okay? They're gonna wait. But yeah, I don't think these two are gonna make it. There's no chemistry. There has not been any physical connection. They have different cultural aspects. Cause you know, I got my little notebook, but I remember some of the things that point out to me was that they don't mesh very well, okay? I'm not too sure if he is really attracted to her. She is also questioning whether he's attracted to her. So he doesn't really seem attracted to her. She is also feeling the vibes that he might not be attracted to me. We saw how he slept in the bed in a robe with his clothes on, okay? Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but if a man sleeps in the bed with his clothes on and a robe next to a woman, what is it giving? It's giving I'm not that into you, okay? Because even if I am not into you, I at least want to get comfortable in my clothes, comfortable and put on my pajamas. He didn't even change his clothes, y'all. Okay, that says a lot to me. They're not connecting, okay? Him and his jokes. And I think there's some cultural things with the jokes, but you know, she's trying to be polite and kind of hee ha ha. I don't get what you're talking about, but but yeah, so that was something that, you know, stood out to me. Also, how are we going to have a connection when you're walking way up there at the airport, I'm way back here? How are we really going to begin to know each other? It seemed to me like it ain't gonna work. Also, another thing that stood out to me was the childhood, how they have vastly different childhoods. He tells a story about his grandmother being connected and him never hearing that she loves him, okay? That to me is not exactly a red flag, but it is caution, okay? Because he was not shown, it was not mirrored how to show affection, how to show love from someone he's apparently so close to, did not tell him that he was loved. So now you have someone who is in a marriage, and how do they show my partner something that I was not shown growing up? Okay, You're with someone who's learning now in a marriage how to verbalize love when they have not been shown that themselves. And there's just so much already of this. Okay. And once again, it's a prime example of how on paper people can show up as the perfect match, the perfect relationship or person. But when it comes to chemistry, you cannot account for chemistry. And they, to me, don't have chemistry. I think they're going to continue to butt heads. I think part of it is also being a therapist myself, learning how to turn off that analytical part of my brain, that overthinking, that reading body language, and recognizing my partner is not my client. My partner is a person that is somebody that I want to build with, that I want to be in love with, but they're not a client. And unless you are a therapist yourself, it's hard to explain that. But sometimes I find myself like asking my own partner, are you sure you're okay? What's really going on? Now, would you tell me if you really wasn't okay? You know, some of those little things. I don't therapize my husband. I don't do that. But once again, it's me trying to learn. You can turn that off, girl. Turn off that part of your mind. Okay. Now, next, I'm gonna have to get on and tell y'all about some of these other content creators coming from my girl Becca. Now, let me put on my Superwoman cape right now, because I do not think it's fair that people are saying just because she had a surgery, just because she came to production with stitches, saying things like Austin should have been matched with someone else, that spot could have went to another person who was really in physical shape to be with him. Knock it off. Okay. That is what's wrong with some of these content creators who are just saying stuff, not recognizing these are people. As much as I talk about, I critique sometimes, analyze, I do remember at the end of the day, these are people. Okay. And that's what we have to realize, is that these are people. So there's nothing wrong with her because she had a surgery, because she's going through endometriosis. People should not judge, oh, he could have been matched with somebody else. She can't do everything. We need more diversity on these shows. We need to see more people who don't look like the average, who are not going through the average things. Some people with autoimmune disorders. Some people who might be living with another disability. Maybe they're in a wheelchair. But to say he should have been matched with somebody who was really healthy, knock it off, okay? Let me get off my soapbox, because I don't like when I see people talk about and judge people based off of their physical capacity, things that she was just born with. She didn't ask for any of these things to be wrong with her. And it shows up in even how she presents in the role with her friends. Her friends were even saying that sometimes she downplays her pain. And she finds herself just being by herself, not sharing how much pain she's really going through because of some of the stigma, because of probably at times feeling like a burden. And some of these content creators are only perpetuating how she feels. And I can only imagine her seeing some of the comments now, watching back, now that the show has been filmed and she's just watching it, how she might feel. So think about those things when you're in the comments, when you're watching videos. Words do mean things. Okay? All right. Now let's move on. Okay? Now my last couple, Orion and Lauren, now they seem to be just like fall into place. Okay? My only concern with them is how gender roles and societal expectations of a husband and a wife might show up. Other than that, they really do seem like they are kind of on the road to having a successful relationship. Them being both in their bonnets is always so cute to me when I see a couple who can really embrace who they are, put their bonnets on at night and get in the bed like it ain't nothing. I don't have to pretend with you. I can be myself. And that's really good. I'm curious to see just how things continue to progress with them. Her friends and her family really wanted it to be known that she's a strong Black woman. Don't come for our sis now. Let her be strong. Don't make her feel like she got to water herself down for you. Make sure you can live up to being with a strong Black woman. Okay? They said, period. Okay? She is who she is. Respect that. I love that about people who are just like This is our friend. This is who she really is. Are you with it or are you not? Because what you ain't about to do is make my friend feel like she got to water herself down for you. Okay? Now, other than that, this episode was kind of lackluster. Let me know your thoughts. Should I do more recaps on Married at First Sight? Make sure you like, subscribe. Come on, join the family. We're building over here. And I will see you in the next video.